Hello, welcome to episode 418. We're going to be making a trinket box for buffs. So, this one idea came from a comment I saw on the Minecraft Commands Discord by Jenkataimu. I'm sure I butchered that name. And there was a bit of command help answering his question by DorkOrc, and I thought this sounds pretty cool. I'm going to take a bit of that and see what I can make with it. Sorry, I just banged the desk. So, what we've got is a purple shulker box. Doesn't matter what it's called, so I will rename mine. You can call them whatever you like. I'm going to call mine Trinkets. You could call it my fighting trinkets, my mining trinkets, whatever you like. So I'm going to have, this is going to be my trinket box. And the idea is, we pop it down, we put in a trinket. So I want jump boost. I'll put in a jump boost trinket. And then I mine that. And we can put it in the ender chest. Now, we can put it anywhere we like, and it will do nothing. You can see I've got no effects. To activate it, we pop it into slot 0, and there we go. I've got the jump boost. Pretty cool. And you think, well, okay, actually, maybe I want to add some more trinkets, or maybe I just find a new one. Open up the trinket box, chuck in a bit of regeneration, chuck it in anywhere, and then chuck the trinket box back in to slot 0, and now we'll have a look. We'll see I've got regen and jump boost. Pretty cool. But it'd be nice to know currently which trinkets you've got. Now obviously with 27 slots we can't just list all the effects. I mean, you might have it so some trinkets give you good and bad effects, so that could be up to like 54 different effects. Where are we going to list all that? So what I came up with is, what we'll do is we'll get a piece of paper or anything you like, any item, and we'll rename it. And so let's say these are the buffs I'm going to use whenever I go mining. So I'll say these are my mining buffs. So we rename the paper or any item. And then what we'll do is we'll chuck it in the top left hand corner. So if it's in the top left hand corner and it's an item that's been renamed on an anvil, it's going to take the name from that. So it's going to grab mining buffs. And what we'll do is we'll pop that back in there in the top slot. Now as we're running around, we'll see we're using our mining buffs. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look. Yep, got my mining buffs. And then let's say we come back to the base. Well, actually we can deactivate it just by moving it. So maybe in our ender chest we've got different boxes with different trinkets in, and we just take one out, grab a different one, put that in. So you could say this one then is going to be my, I don't know, fighting. This is going to be my fighting buffs. I'll take you out, pop you in the top left hand corner, break our shulker box, put them in there, and now as we're running around, right now we're using our fighting buffs. I've only got 2 buff items as an example, so my buffs are exactly the same. But there we go. That's what we're going to be making. A box which we can fill with items, and those items have custom data which activate effects. Cool. That's about it. So I reckon we should get on and build it now. Okay, right. First thing I'm going to need is a timer. Well, I don't actually need a timer, but we don't have to run this command every tick. That's a bit over the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it every 50 ticks. And that'd be nicer for performance. So we'll have setup, and we'll do scoreboard, objectives, add, we'll add a timer, and it will be a dummy. Okay, now let's give ourselves a couple of buff items. So let's just call it give, that'll do. And I'm going to give nearest player, I'm just going to use stone for the first item. And custom data is the important one. And I'm going to put effect regen. So we could put here anything we like. I'm putting effect regen. And let's give it a name as well. Let's do item name equals and regeneration. There we go. That's one item done. Control middle mouse. Copy the block, pop it down. Chain always active. I'm going to change this from regeneration to jump boost. And you'll notice that it's going to go red. Doesn't like the space. But since we're not adding colours or anything like that, we can just put an apostrophe there and an apostrophe there. Job done. Let's change its custom data. We'll call it effect jump. And let's change the item. And I think a rabbit foot will do for jumping. Rabbit foot. Done. Now we've got 2 items. Let's give ourselves those. Doink. There we go. Okay. Next. Oh, I need an ender chest. Let's get an ender chest. There we are. I'm going to put you down. And behind you, I'm going to put an anvil. Oh my god, I always forget how loud they are every single time. We don't need those anymore. And let's also go here. I want that paper. And I want that purple shulker box. Right, what the idea is, let's switch to survival. I will have my purple shulker box. In fact, I'm going to rename it. You can call it whatever you like. It's not a problem at all. I'm going to call mine Trinkets. And the idea will be, it'll check for purple shulker boxes and it'll look inside for buffed items. So you might want to give this a more meaningful name, like this is my mining trinkets, this is my fighting trinkets. So, but I'm just going to call mine Trinkets. And then what we would do, oh look, got a command block in there. What we'll do is we'll put it in the top left hand corner, slot 0, and that will mean any trinkets inside will become active. And if we want to deactivate it, well, we just move it anywhere out of that slot. Okay, so that's the aim. So let's start with regeneration. So I'm going to need a pickaxe as well, aren't I? Let's give myself a pickaxe. The reason I keep switching into survival is because if you pick these things up in creative, you just end up duplicating them and you end up with loads of them in your inventory and it's impossible to keep track. It's much easier just to do it in survival. So let's pick that up. And so we know we've got regeneration in there. Let's pop it in to our active trinkets slot. Okay. Now let's go back to creative to make some commands. Let's make the controller. We'll pop you down, we'll put a lever on top, and we'll just call you controller like we always do. Right, first thing is, let's increment that timer. Let's get that timer working. So, scoreboard, that's a good spelling. No, that's schedule, that's just as bad. Scoreboard, players, add the fake player who I call Trinket, add 1 to their timer score. Okay, get myself one of them, pop you down, and then execute if score. We called them Trinket, timer, matches, let's say 50 or higher, then run scoreboard, players, reset, let's remove, reset, Trinket, timer. Okay, so when the timer gets to over 50, it should reset. Let's just turn that on. Unknown scoreboard timer. Okay, we'll just press that then. So we've got it on 42, and now it's back to 2. That seems to reset around 50. We'll say that's working. Right, next. I need to look inside my ender chest, and I'm going to look inside slot 0 only, and I'm going to look in slot 0 for any purple shulker box, and then I'm going to look inside that purple shulker box to see if it contains an item that has the custom data, so effect regen or effect jump. And inside the shulker box we'll have that item can be anywhere, doesn't matter. That way people can, you know, arrange them however they like. So let's do that. And we only want to do it if the score equals 1, so we're only doing it once every 50 ticks. So let's do execute if score trinket timer matches 1 as all players if items entity for that player, and we'll look in their ender chest in slot 0, and we're going to look for a purple shulker box. Now, inside the purple shulker box, we are going to check Minecraft container, and we don't want equals. We're going to say contains or has. So it must have must have what we're about to look for. It could have other things as well. If we use equals, it can only have what we're looking for, so we don't want that. So we're going to have that one. Open and close. And we're going to check all of its items. Open and close. And we're just going to check if any of the items contains. And this one is a list, and in here we'll have boink, one entry. What does it contain? We're going to use a predicate. Predicates. Open and close. We're going to use that to check the custom data. Open and close. And we're going to check for effect regen. So if the timer equals 1 and there is a purple shulker box in the player's ender chest in slot 0, the top left hand corner, and in that shulker box is an item anywhere that has the custom data effect regen, then we will run effect give that player regeneration for 5 seconds with an amplifier of 0, and yes, we will hide the particles. True. Done. So now I'm expecting to have regeneration. Yeah, it gets to about 2. There we go. It gets to about 2 and it tops back up again because we're checking every 50 ticks. That looks good. Okay, so let's just do a check to see if jump is in there as well. And we'll do that the easy way. We'll just copy this command block, control middle mouse. We'll pop him down and we'll just change the things we need to. We'll change to jump boost. I'm going to put an amplifier on that one. Let's say 1. And all we're going to change here is we're not looking for effect regen, we're now looking for effect jump. Done. Okay, let's get rid of that. Now I shouldn't have effect jump at the moment, no. Let's switch to survival. Let's get our trinket box. Let's put our jump boost in there. And let's just check this. Let's move this somewhere random. That's random. There we go. So we've got regen and jump boost both in the trinket box. Let's put the trinket box back into slot 0. And now if you press E, we can see we've got jump boost and regeneration. Nice. And let's say we want to disable the buffs. Not sure why someone would. Maybe you have buffs and like if you get jump, you also get hunger or so. So maybe each one has a good and a bad buff. So you don't always want the buffs. Well, we could just move it out slot 0 into any other slot. So we'll just move it there. And we'll see, oh, they run out. Cool. There we go. Let's make it so it's a bit easier for players to know which buffs they've currently got active. Now, we could list each buff, but that would be a lot of information to write, especially if there's like 27 different items and each item has a good and a bad buff. Well, then you've got 54 items you're going to have to list. That seems a bit crazy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to say, right, the player can rename a piece of paper or anything, any item. They can rename any item. So this is going to be my mining buffs. And then we'll take that paper and we'll pop it into our trinket box and we'll just chuck it up in the corner there, up into the top left-hand corner. So I think this one will say has to go in the top left-hand corner. Yeah, now let's break our box. Let's put it back. Now we need to get the data path of that piece of paper or that item and then get that name. So we can start with a little test. So let's do data, and in fact let's clear the chat, F3D. Let's do data get entity player. Okay, there's a lot of stuff there, but if I go up a bit, you'll see eventually, right on the top line, right at the end, we have ender items. That is where we want to go first. So let's do escape, F3D to clear the chat. Data get entity at P, ender items. Now that's a bit less to deal with. Wonderful. Obviously, if you've got lots of stuff in your ender chest, you won't have as little as this. So now what are we going to do? We are looking to get this mining buffs from that piece of paper. So we're going to want to go into components, and then from the components we are going to go into the container, and then from the container we're going to go to item, and then from the item we're going to go to components again, And then we're going to go to custom name. Okay, can we remember that? What have we got? Components, container, and it would be the first slot, so container 0, item. Let's have a go. So, clear the chat, F3D. Ender items, components, then Minecraft container, and we're going to put a 0 on that one. We want the first slot. Let's do a test and see what we get. No elements found. That's why it's always good to test. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to specify the first slot. So we're going to say Ender items 0, components Minecraft. Okay, let's see what we get if we do that. Well, that's a bit better. We're getting closer. Now we want to do item, components, Minecraft custom name. Okay, F3D, clear the chat. So, item, components, Minecraft custom name. Ah, there we go, and we've got the name of it, Mining Buffs. Has pulled it out with the speech marks as well. Now, that shouldn't be a problem. I think we can get rid of those. So what we're going to do is I am going to copy that path we just found. So all of that, all the way to the end. Copy. And now I'm going to get myself another block, and on the end we'll display the name. So we'll execute if score trinkets timer matches 1 as all players if items entity that player their ender chest slot 0 is a purple shulker box, and if it is, then we will run title at S onto the action bar and we'll put some stuff in. Okay, so first of all, let's just do can we just get away with text found box? Let's try that. Done. Okay, F3D. Now I don't see it showing up, and that's 39. No, it's definitely going round. Okay, so what do we think? Have we got it in the right slot? It is in slot 0. Okay, let's try this command by itself. I think that works, but we'll try it just in case. Yeah, that works. Okay, what might we have wrong here? Okay, run title action bar text found box. Okay, well, it seems to all be right. There is the purple shulker box. It is in slot 0. Okay, let's take title away just in case you're causing a problem. And then we'll just run say hi. No. I don't see a spelling mistake. What have I done wrong? Execute if store trinkets timer. Let's just check that you are called Trinket. No, there we go. It's called Trinket. Now, there's always a little simple mistake somewhere. So, Trinket timer. And then we'll put that bit back on the end. Run. Title action bar found box. There we go. I can see it appearing. Found box. Okay, so we found the box. That's good. It's got a little bit of a pulse on it because the action bar fades out after about 2 seconds. So 40 ticks. And we've got this set to 50. We could set that to 40. And then it'll never fade in and out. That's fine. I kind of like the little fading in and out, so I'm going to leave mine at 50. You change yours to whatever you like. Right. So we found the box. Now let's give a bit of a better message. So let's open and close. And we're going to have one element. In fact, I don't think we have to. We're just going to have one element. So let's do that. What are we going to check? We're going to check a few things. So I think first which entity? Entity will be the at S, so the person the command is running at. That's all right. And then I think we'll have some NBT. Then we're going to be checking NBT. Now it's happy. Right, the NBT we want to check is that pathway we found before. So let's press done. And let's get that command back because I've copied over that now. There it is. So ender items 0, blah, 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 blah. And let's copy all of that. Copy. Oh, look at that long name it's got now. Minecraft Regeneration, show icon, show point. Okay, well, we haven't finished yet. It's showing all the NBT. Let's paste that in. And now it's just saying mining buffs. Fantastic. So we've managed to get the name, or get the custom name of the first item in the first slot there. Let's get rid of those speech marks just in case you want to. I think we could do that probably with interpret true. Interpret true, that will remove the speech marks. And then let's just say color, add some color as well. Color green, and let's make it bold. And bold true. Okay, so we've made a mistake somewhere. I say I'm blaming you, and it'll be that full stop there. That should be a comma. Done. Mining buffs. Okay, I've got my mining buff box. Let's get another piece of paper. PAP. And let's switch to survival mode. And let's say I want to switch out my buffs. We're fighting gear. Right, so I'm about to go out. Before I go, I get my trinket box. I change the trinkets. I take out my mining buffs paper. I put in my fighting gear paper. I get my buffs box. And I put it back into slot 0. And now when we're running, we'll be there. We've got fighting gear going. Cool, that's quite fun actually. I like that. That seems to work. I think that seems to work quite well actually. There we go. We have given ourselves a nice little box which we can take out. We can put in a load of different trinkets and we're going to get buffed from those trinkets. And if we want to deactivate it, all we have to do, just move it out of the top left hand slot and all the buffs have gone. So we could have, you could name this, instead of trinkets, you could name this mining buffs. You could name the next one fighting buffs, the next one, I don't know, adventuring buffs. And then depending which buffs you want, you could just literally swap the shulker box between the slots. If you don't have copies though of the buffs, you're going to have to do a little bit of fiddling and change them around in your shulker boxes. Cool. Anyway, let's not go on for too long. I think we're done. We now have a trinket box containing various buffs. What on earth are buffs? Various buffs that we can easily swap in and out. There we go. Have some fun with that one. I like the idea of people can go through your map slowly, collect different buffs. As they collect them, they chuck them in their trinket box. Okay. I'll see you next time. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.